Okay, now everybody should be able to see it. What's it?
I thought Lynn
I'm
was going
laughing
to.
at Tim's sunglasses. What's up with that sunglasses, Tim?
I thought Lynn was going to be wearing that tie again.
Nah, this was a guy I've been trying to get with for like a month, and the first thing he said was, "Man, you worse than me when it comes to getting with people." He was like, "I didn't think there was anyone that was worse than me as far as follow up." I was like, "Yeah, man, you raise your hand and tell me that you're gonna meet me. You owe me. I'm gonna call you every single day." And then after the conversation goes 20 minutes later, he's like, "I'm so glad I met you. I'm glad I didn't just diss you off." Follow up is the key.
All right.
Let me let Nick know the webinar's starting here sometime soon.
What country is he in?
Romania.
Ah, wow, okay.
And they're, let's see, he's 8 hours ahead of you.
Okay. So you feel totally safe on your money sites with this?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been using it on money sites for over a year. Well over a year.
Really? So is it just you think that they can't like de-index because it's like now like PBNs where it's hard to tell, or why do you feel so safe? Is the question.
Let me tell you something there. When Billy was doing my insurance company, Billy would not tell me that he was doing this, and I had to find out that he was doing this. I'm thinking, really? You did that with that? He's like, yeah, Lim, this is what I've been doing. So, yeah, it's been safe for a very long time, Zenith.
Wow, I know it is now, but I mean, just like FCS Network or when all of these social accounts, they were saying that they were starting to get weaker. These 2.0s that are being used so much, or
well, it's the main thing. It's not necessarily that. It's the Web 2.0 still work. The main thing is just the way that he designed the software. It makes it look like it's a human. That's really the biggest difference because when you have something that's basically looking like a human doing it versus a computer, they're getting sophisticated enough where they can tell. He has the little delays. I mean, you can watch if you go in the box, you can watch it do its little thing, and and that's really the biggest difference between both of them, and they stick. Like I got a dog trainer client that that's not a very heavy, expensive client or anything, but she trains my dogs. So our deal was that I was going to do video marketing for her, and I built up her maps listing because she couldn't get her maps listing to rank at all. So now she's in the 3-pack, and she has some videos, and then I built an authority site using an age domain. It was about 10 years old, and then all I've been doing is just sending money robot links to it. That's all I do.
wow.
So, and I mean, it took some time, but I mean, because I'm only using one campaign on it at a time. I'm not pounding 24 campaigns on it like Tim is. So I'm gonna get to that point.
24. Who's going to be slacking at 24?
So, but I mean, I've done about, I'd have to look through, but probably 9 campaigns on her now, and that's it. And the site, when I bought the age domain, from where it started initially, it was on like page 5 or page 6. And then in about 5 months, she's got her maps listing. Her maps listing ranked first using the Money Robot links. And then the website is actually on page 2 now. She has a couple terms on page 1, but the main terms are on page 2. The very top, number 11.
Wow.
So it works. It's just it's mainly a patience thing. I mean, unless you're gonna use a whole bunch of servers and stuff and just keep, like the GSA thing where you just pound links at it and stuff. You could do that. I mean, I do. Everybody does it a little bit differently, campaign-wise, but I use that super high competition a lot, and then I use the 1, 3, 12 a lot, and the social one a lot.
Do you use the DAS a lot at all? Have you ever tried that one?
I don't think so. I don't think I've run that one on any of them yet.
Well, here's the deal, guys. There's three of us that have created close to 5 million accounts with Money Robot, and we know and we've tested. If you can see all the diagrams that we've canned and thrown away and all this kind of stuff, but consistently, if you'll start out, regardless if it's a video or a web page, and you'll run. I run more than what Nick suggested. I just tell everybody you run 15 of the 1-3-12s. As soon as they complete, you start the same over again with the super high. Those of all the possible combinations out there, if you do them in that order, you're looking to get a foundation, and then you can experiment and play around. So if you get that foundation, you have that little bit of cushion. Now, what you should shoot for at a minimum, and I want to emphasize that, minimum 400 accounts in a category. And Zenith, if you're relatively new to this, basically what you want to do, and I'm assuming that, in fact, if you don't know how, please say so. Do you know how to activate the advanced features?
Oh yeah, I'm good on everything like that.
Okay, cool. All right. So if you will make sure that I really try to silo everything I do, and I want to put, if I've got 11 services that I offer in my SEO company, just for those pages, I'm going to have a page for SEO. I'm going to have a page for video marketing. I'm sorry, not a page. I'm going to have a silo category for each of these things. Now, when you have your videos, you want to do the same thing. I create all the SEO videos. They go in one SEO video silo. If I have another on AdWords, something like that, it goes in that silo. It's really good also for organizational purposes.
So how do you silo a video? Is that by channel? Is that what you're calling a silo? How does that work?
I'm talking about you set up a category for your videos just like you would for a page on your website.
Oh, okay. You're talking about Money Robot.
That's correct.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And so that way, as time goes on, I never ever run a project or a campaign, and people are getting that one. That means one and the same. Whether you say project or campaign, it's the one and the same thing. So when you run those, I always make sure that I'm including a video of mine in the article that the Money Robot is posting. Now, Bill, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but remember the variations of the video?
Oh, yeah, the 22 URLs.
Right. And there's other things out there now that I've seen one that's got 84 or something like that to it. Anyway, in talking with Nick about this, if because I misunderstood, and those all of those create the embed codes because they're going back to the same video. So if you use them in the article themselves, it's going to create that same embed code. However, if you take them and put them in your money site up there, all those variations, it will truly look like it's different activities going on with it. You don't get the variations by using that. You can put your regular URL down in the video. In fact, if you've got more than one, I usually put 2 or 3 down where the actual article is, and it'll rotate, through them in there when you're in the advanced area. But I take the variations of those, and I'll use them up where my money site is. So that way you get some extra looks of different kinds. There's different shares and different watches, that type of thing in those variations, and that's very good. And don't forget also about the 2 tabs you've got on there for video and social, right above where your projects are.
Could I just ask you again, just on the video silo, if I get that correct? I'm still having a hard time visualizing what a video silo is. You're just saying you just run, like if it's an auto mechanic, you would have a category in Money Robot that says auto mechanic, and that's where that video would go?
I absolutely would. That's the way I do it.
Okay, so okay.
See, I've got a ton of SEO videos
Okay, so all auto mechanic, the silo would be because you would put other videos in there that were other auto mechanics,
Yeah,
automatic.
that's
Yeah, I
correct.
mean, you know what I'm saying.
That's correct.
4 hours sleep. Okay.
Right. Yeah, just so they're related as close as you can in that category,
Okay.
then you'll be just fine. But make sure also that you are running accounts to each page on your site that you want traffic. I don't send them to the contact page or an FAQ page, but everything else is going to get the traffic because it looks more natural to Google if everything is getting. I treat them all about equally, but I just want to make sure that everything looks pretty natural to Google. And again, these things were designed to be used, so let them run. If you don't, are you using your own VPS, Zenith, or are you using Nix?
I am one of Nix and one of OVH.
Okay, well,
Thanks.
let me share. And Bill, I don't know if you're aware of this. Now, you've been pretty busy recently, but Nick and them have gone through and are continuing going through a major upgrade on their VPSs. And man, these new ones are screamers. So I would really suggest that anybody who's having any issues with this, and Bill, if you don't have it already, I've got a link in there, or I can put a link in, or you can put a link in for the VPSs on the new ones. He's got two prices. The normal one that everybody uses is $15, and the other one's just a little bit more because it is no kidding, twice as fast. I had two servers, each with 12 on it. I had him combine all 24 VPS onto one of the new servers, and that screams like you can't believe. It is phenomenal how it works.
So you can run more than one instance on one VPS of the
No.
Money Robot?
No, you don't. You want to.
It'd be different licenses?
You can run. Are you talking about projects?
No, licenses.
Well, you have two, which is what comes with each purchase of
Right.
Money Robot.
So then you'd need two VPSs, correct?
Yes, you would.
Okay.
And I think I believe, I'll have to look, but I think for two of these new super fast VPSs, I think he charges $36, which is a steal. First of all,
really?
because he sets them up and he manages them for you. It's none of that stuff where you have to do your own like an OVH. So I've got all of mine there.
Wow. And because I saw what you posted, because you put Live Genius on it too, or?
No, that was somebody else. I run it locally.
Okay.
Maybe if you've got a slow connection or something. I'm not really quite sure. I know what the primary Nick and those guys have got a 1 gigabyte connection there, but I don't know how fast everything is running because they've got a ton of servers. So I'm not quite sure about it. I can just tell you this: whatever the old one was, this blazes. I mean, not even close. How fast it runs compared to the old ones.
Yeah, I haven't tried the new one yet because I've been using my other laptop and my other desktop right now. So.
Let me tell you.
What about URLs? When do you save them? Like,
they're saving for you automatically in a master database.
But what if you delete the project? It would delete the URL, correct or not?
Well, it'll take the project out, but all that database is housed in one location. So let's say you had 60 VPSs. Every account you create in there is funneled to a master account for you. That's why it's so simple and easy. If for some reason you had to move from one server to another with Nick, you don't lose anything there. It's all going into that one main funnel that goes in the back by category. And again, the categories are, in my opinion, about as important as anything you do here, because that way you're going to get the benefit, and building the authority. And back to the creation of the accounts, I personally think 400 is a minimum for any one category. I wouldn't consider running 400 myself. If I don't have at least 1,000, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to. I want it spread around, and each time you run another campaign there, once you get to a point where you can reuse those existing accounts, first of all, they run a heck of a lot faster. You don't have any capture expense at all, and you're building authority to each and every one of them in there. Now, Nick is working on a new video that's going to show everyone how to extract their tier 1 links and do what we call a power up diagram, and we'll be glad to share these custom power ups, because the only thing we use them for is to power up the tier 1s, and that really, normally you're going to see a jump pretty quick in your rankings once you go through the power up. Does it make sense that you want to build authority to those?
Yeah, absolutely. What I was trying to figure out and asking about saving the URL.
Right. I'll ask him here and see if he's got an update on that. I'm going to look while he's checking on something else. I'm going to look and see if I can find that link on the new VPSs. I promise you, it's worth every penny. Let's see here.
Just renewed my OVH yesterday.
Let's see here. VPS, here we go. Now, if you want 2 of these, he hasn't created a link for 2 yet. This is for 1, and I've asked him just because anybody that gets the robot just automatically get 2 VBSs. This is a waste if you don't get it. Bill, if I put this in down here in the chat box, will this link go out to everyone? Or you...
Wait, hold on. I can put it in the thing.
Okay, and make a note there for right now. If they want 2, just do 2 requests. He's going to create a link for 2, but right now he doesn't have any.
So I saw a link for $39. What was that? Oh, 36.
Oh, is it 36 or 39? I don't know. Let's see what that one is.
Well, I saw it in a Live Genius.
Let me see what this is. Oh, here it is.
Why is it?
Okay, this here, I don't know if we can show this. I doubt if you can. In the premium, this is what it has. It has 2 CPU cores, and it's a 2.4 gigahertz. It has only 2 gigabytes of RAM. Okay, and he says, talk about number of threads. 10 to 12 is what they recommend. Okay, the internet speed on those is 100 megabytes. On the Ultimate, that's the new one, it's $26 a month. That's for 1, but it has 3 CPU cores, which is 50% more than you've got on the first one. It also is a 2.9 gigahertz with 4 gigabytes of RAM, and the internet speed on that one is 1 gigabyte.
That's much better.
That's significantly better.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here. Here we go. Okay, yeah. He says he's doing his very best. They're going through, as always, they're always doing upgrades to the MR. And he said he would do his best. These guys work 7 days a week. He's going to try to get the video done tomorrow on extracting the tier 1, because before there was multiple steps involved, and you had to do it a couple of times to get the hang of it. But now he's going to do a step-by-step, on it. And some of the updates they've done to the robot is going to make it significantly easier to do. So that's going to be something everybody's going to love when they get that.
So how do you in editing the diagram, how do you make it so, like if you were building your own diagram, how do you make it so there's several tiers? Because, like, for example, on the DOS diagram, it says 16 tiers, but you don't see that depth. How do you create that when you're building one?
Well, I've seen people create them in all kinds of fashions. Basically, you need to create a group of whatever you're doing, and then you would create another group, and you'll see a distinct link. They're not all interlinked, but your group, let's say you had 6 members in that group. You'd have another 6 members of another group, and then you would connect them based on what you're trying to accomplish as far as if you're going. Most people try to keep them. Well, I can't say that either. I've seen every configuration you can possibly imagine in that. Let me see. I don't know if I can get this up here or not.
Like, for example, that 3D Power, look, you can see that that's doing several links down. But like if you're drawing it, like when I tried drawing one, I didn't spend a lot of time on it, but I just didn't see how you would get multiple tiers. Is it just adding it, like, you add 1, then 2, then 3, and then it just disappears in the diagram? You don't actually see it, or?
Well, Bill, maybe you can explain it. I know you built some.
Yeah. So if you look at the diagram and you see the little lines going out to each level, they consider that tiers. So each one of them that are connected is like a level of a tier, basically. Does that make sense or no?
Okay, so it's just, but like the DOS diagram, if you look at that, it doesn't look like 16 tiers.
No, wait, hold on. Let me pull that one up and I'll explain.
And let me pull it up too.
Do you see how, so you have your main levels, okay, that are, if you click on the diagram editor, you can see it a little bit better.
Okay. You can.
You sharing your screen, Bill?
No, I'm not. I'm just talking. I'm not on that because I'm on the Mac. The PC doesn't have audio, so I can actually I could log into.
Wait a second. Okay, I have it open, a diagram editor.
Excuse me.
Okay, so if you look at the way that I understand it, and I can be wrong, but if you look at the DOS one in the diagram editor.
Uh-huh.
So you have your money.
Rank it. Okay, got it. Got the money. Uh-huh.
Zoom out.
Is there a view on this thing?
Yeah, you should up in the corner.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's shrink this thing.
The way I understand it, and I can be wrong, but my understanding of the 16 tiers is, do you see how, so you have your money site, okay, and then it goes to a blogger, and then it goes to a social, right?
Now I gotta make it a little bit bigger because I can't read it. Okay. Yeah, blogger. I see the money site. Yeah.
So if you actually read it in order, you would see that. So it has social signals that points to the blogger, then the blogger points to the money site, right? So.
Right.
And then, okay. So if you look at the other bloggers, see how they're interlinked together. So one blogger is connecting to another blogger, and then that blogger is cycling back to another blogger.
Right.
Okay. So what happens is when each one of these do this, it's creating a cycle. Have you ever heard of the term a link wheel?
Yeah. I get all that. I was just thinking it was like actually 16 levels. So that's not what that means when it says 16 tiers. So each line essentially is a tier. So like you have the money site, you have the blog, and then the social. I would be looking at that as 3 tiers.
Right. See, that would be normally a 3-tier. Yeah, exactly. But what happens is because it's cycling, where you're connecting all the different bloggers. Now, this is my understanding. Now, Nick might be able to chime in and give a different answer. But the way that I understand it, the reason it's 16 is because you're interlinking so many of the different bloggers back and forth with each other, so you're actually getting multiple tiers on top of 3.
Okay.
But I can be wrong. Tim, is that the way you understood it too?
Yeah, hang on, I'm trying to get something. Maybe I can help with this. Let's see here. Oops. Let's see.
And I think the other reason he's saying 16 is because you have the 16 bloggers, so it's one based off of each one, but then you have the cycle that goes in between each blogger. Then you have a social that's on top of that.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. I was reading the comments.
No problem. No, basically because it has, so this one, the DOS 16, the 16 tiers, it has 16 blogger accounts in it. But the way that I understand it is that each one of them, because you have the main 3 tiers, which is the money site, the blogger, and then the social. And then the bloggers, if you look at the bloggers, usually one is attached to 3 at least.
Okay.
Some of them are attached to more.
Right,
so then
right.
it's adding more levels and spreading content across everything.
Okay. So it is like what it sees. There's nothing hidden there. That's what I was wondering, if there was something hidden, but it is what you see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's really it. And then he's got the 3 social accounts on top that connect directly to the money site, because anything social is safe to do right on your money site as well.
Right.
So.
Shoot, I just went brain dead. Oh yeah, RSS feeds. Like one of the things I liked about FCS Networker was just running a RSS feed to it for like 8 or 10 days, just to get it, get some content on it before doing anything. Could you do that with this?
I've never tried them, but there is RSS feeds in here.
Yeah, I saw that, but you're pointing it to it. So how's that working, and how do you tell it what feed to use, or?
We can ask Nick that question. I'll make a note of it, but I'm not sure on that one.
Nick's going to try to put together one URL that will have, if they want 2 VPSs, they have it rather than having to do the same URL twice. He'll have that for us in just a second.
Okay, cool.
All right, some of you other people speak up out there. How about it?
Well, Michael heard us.
Okay.
Oh, good.
I was just wondering if you heard the RSS feed question.
Who, me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've never used RSS feed. At one point, there was very little in there, and to be honest with you, I don't know how updated they've kept it. Let me see what's in there right now.
Where are you finding that?
Let's see here. Well, when Nick gets back to the screen here, I'll ask him.
Okay.
Good gracious, I can't even tell you how many different iterations of diagrams that have been tested very thoroughly, and I don't ever remember Nick suggesting that we include RSS feeds. I know they have a place and a purpose and are done for many different things, but that's never really been something that he's advocated. but we'll find out here in just a minute.
Well, while we're waiting, we can ask. So, like Michael Howard asked a bunch of questions. Best way to pump up videos in a campaign? What's the process, step by step? Can we edit a Web 2 once created in MR? Yes. You can go in and log into the account. That's the only way I know to do it right now. You can't actually do it through Money Robot. You just go in and actually log into it with the username and password. What percentage of MR links get indexed? Best way to confirm and what tool? I don't know. I kind of just, Tim, I know you're the same way. I kind of just keep doing accounts and building accounts and links. I don't really look at what gets indexed. I know we talked about that before, but I've never really actually tried to do that. Do you recommend an index service? I know Holly had hers for a while. You can do Ping Farm. I was using Ping Farm initially because it's very easy to use.
I've heard several people, Bill mentioned one that I looked at maybe a year ago. I didn't use it, but it was called Crazy Indexer.
No, I've never seen that one.
I've heard several people say that they've had good luck with it, and someone told me. I just don't remember who it was now. I wish I remember which one they said, but basically they were getting things indexed pretty quickly. Now, Brian Wade, I know you've got a lot of things going on with this type of stuff. Anything you can share on that about the indexing? I guess everybody can see that he has Holly's. I've never used one. I didn't feel the need for it. I think the whole overriding concept here, everyone, is that you want to do everything you possibly can to keep in concert with the idea. We want to emulate what a normal person would do. What would be normal in this situation. It's not normal to put up a bunch of pages and get them indexed that day or next day. It just doesn't work like that. I haven't heard of anybody having any issues that are doing it, but I just like the approach of trying to keep everything as simple as possible. And since they had the tool built in, just like Bill, if you recall, and I'm assuming that most of the people here are probably relatively new users. When we first started using this, you had to provide your own proxies.
Right, exactly.
And
exactly.
These guys, they didn't have to do this. They could have sold. We'd probably bought them if they had offered them to us. But they went out and found a way to do it, and so that saves you. I'm going to say somewhere between, depending on how many you run, but certainly going to save you $50 to $100 a month. Just by doing that. So, and that's something they did because they wanted to do it for us.
Exactly. But no, I'm with you too, because the whole thing is, what I think is, especially profiles, when Money Robot builds profiles and stuff, those are not going to get indexed right away, because that's just something that doesn't get indexed right away. I think you just let Google find it naturally, and I mean, he has the indexer built into it, so it's going to index so much so quickly. But I've never really focused on so many. I just keep making campaigns. That's my whole thing. So
have you noticed traffic from this too? Actual traffic?
I've never really paid attention. My whole thing is I just blast links. So once something ranks, and I'll stop blasting links to it. But until then, I just run campaigns.
Okay, Nick is writing me back on the RSS. He said initially RSS was used for faster indexing of the backlinks, and that was really what the real purpose was. And says, but when they added later the indexification service that they do have integrated into it, they said they didn't feel it was useful anymore.
See, and I've heard that before, that Google was changing a bunch of stuff because of that with RSS feeds. But I've never really tried them. Even before, I mean, I used to run Fiverr gigs for RSS feeds, but I never did them myself.
Well, I've done some of the mashups where you take 3 or 4 different things and put it in there, and I don't have any proof that it works. What I do have proof of is that Money Robot absolutely works.
Yeah.
It's so convincing. I really appreciate that. It's
no.
so easy. That's what's so scary. It's like it's so easy.
Well, but see, I mean, that was the biggest thing when I first saw this and I started using it and how easy it was compared to all the other stuff. That was the big thing.
That's what I'm going now. This is too good to be true. It's just too easy.
Well, and a lot of people don't like it because it's not as fast as other tools. It might take longer to build campaigns out, but you have to remember what the software is doing. It's manually going through and actually doing that in another window. So.
Yeah. Well, Bill, I know that I've shared this story probably before with the group, but I just like to take 1 minute and tell them how I started with this. And I'm just by nature very cautious about stuff like this. For instance, I bought and have 2 licenses of GSA. Had them put on VPSs and never turned them on. I heard that just about the time that I purchased them, that people were starting to get de-indexed with them, so I didn't want to take the chances. So when I finally got on this, everything looked great. The concept was great. The early people that were using it were reporting really good results back. At that point in time, I didn't know about the one super group that has it now that's got 600 VPSs running. But let's just say that if Nick told me to do X, I might do 40% of X. I just wouldn't go out there and do what he told me because I wasn't a believer. I just cautious by design because I built this particular site as a long-term business, honestly for my family, after I check out. But at about, now keep in mind, I'm running this maybe 40% of what he told me. And at the beginning, about the first 2 weeks in month 3, all of a sudden, I started seeing, I saw some stuff creeping up, but it wasn't anywhere anybody was going to find it. And then all of a sudden, I'm seeing stuff at the bottom of page 1. I'm going, woo, isn't that nice? So I still didn't change. I went on until about the end of the 3rd month, and then I was seeing, because I did associate my site with Google Webmaster Tools, and I use that religiously because it'll give you phenomenal information. In fact, every single month, even at this point, we're finding new terms in there that we can build new content for and know exactly what to target in there. It's phenomenal for that purpose. So I go along here, and all of a sudden, I'm seeing, I don't know, maybe, 3, 4, 5 that are, on page 1, and I'm seeing creep up. And I said, man, I think I'm going to turn this thing up just a little bit. So I probably went to 75% of what he had told me to do originally. And the same thing, I didn't create as many accounts as he told me to do up front for each category. So I went up to about 3/4 of what he told me, and then I started seeing more terms come in. I started applying it to videos. All of a sudden, I'm having videos pop on the page 1 in all the categories that I want. So then I jumped on board and bought additional licenses because I thought, man, I'm going to rip it now. So I started running it at the level he told me. So when I got to about month 5, man, I had the area covered up. I had 2 or 3 listings, sometimes 4 and 5 listings for some pretty serious terms, in my market. And then when I saw, I jumped in. Well, I got into maps. Let me think. Probably in a couple of terms. I'm gonna say probably between month 3 and month 4. I jumped in there, and then is when it was on. So I bought. Let me think. I think I bought 6. I think I bought 6 licenses additional then, and then that's when I really started to move. And today I've got more than 1,000 keywords in the first 2 pages of Google for any term related to my business I want.
Wow.
I've got, in addition to that, I've got videos and sometimes multiple videos on page 1. I'm not talking about the bottom. I'm talking about the top of page 1 for this. And so, for me to invest what I've invested in this, I'm a tough nut to crack. But right now, I'm running 60 VPSs nonstop, and I won't be stopping there.
Wow.
So you know what kind of commitment that is, so you know it's serious for me.
Yeah. But so, like, with the Google Skyfall or the last update, and just when I started was the big major update of Google, and looking at so many tiers. So it doesn't matter if your money site has all of these social accounts associated with it. I know I'm asking the same question over and over again, but I'm just.
No, it's good. It's good. No, it's no. Believe me. I mean, that's just how it starts. You look and you're like, come on, it can't be that simple. But it is. You just the consistency. That's really what it is. It's consistency. It's like I don't stop. Once a campaign is done, I start the next one, and you just keep going. And I'll do that typically until it ranks. So.
I'm sorry. I was typing something here. What was the question?
It was a repeat of the same thing. Don't worry. I'm still in denial.
Well, all I can tell you, folks, and I know that Bill's had very good success with it as well. I know that not only in this group, but there have been other groups out there where I guess that initially the support wasn't there because there are some things there. For instance, there's a lot of things hidden, like the advanced features, and they're trying to do a better job now, and there's still reasons why they do that, I understand, but that makes a difference as well. And any question in your mind about using the content that's provided, zero. I've never done a single article that wasn't done by Money Robot, but there is a pretty significant update in the very near future to again enhance the quality of the articles even farther. So yeah, don't ever worry about, don't spend a penny on trying to get content.
Well, because that was the other question. I mean, because Brian was saying that some of these rank. I mean, they're not totally readable. They're, I've seen worse, but I would look at it and go, okay, this isn't real content.
Well, you know what's readable? That backlink back to your site.
Right.
And everybody has their own ideas about this. Again, my direction has been to try to keep everything as natural as I could. So every article I have a standard procedure. I used random every single time, and that's over 500,000 times now. So I don't care if every once in a while there's no link. So what? Who cares? Same thing. Don't screw around with your anchor text. It's
okay. So in advance, you don't put one link. You always put random.
I absolutely do. Yes.
Oh, that was good to hear. Thank you.
And don't monkey around with the anchor text unless you've got something you're trying to bring out of a penalty situation where you need to really dilute it and then just turn it down to 1 or something along those lines. But the way it's set right now, believe me, they don't ever make a change in there that isn't tested 9 ways to Sunday before they put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes up and the defaults to show you want to do 90% generic, I promise you there's a reason why.
Yep.
What most people don't understand about this, that I've had the great fortune of finding out and learning, is that not only are these guys phenomenal programmers, coders, and what have you, but Nick is actually, and without exaggeration, he can hold his own with anybody. If you guys know who OMG is, he has no fear of anyone in OMG. He's very low profile. He's very conscientious because his English speaking skills are just, he just doesn't have them, because his writing skills are pretty good, but his actual speaking skills, because he doesn't have the chance to practice it. Now, I'm going to let a little cat out of the bag here. Is there's things in the near future where it's taking me, 15, 16 months, but I've gotten Nick convinced that it's okay if we do some webinars, and I'm gonna be there to basically, if something comes up he doesn't understand, then I can help him understand it, so that we can get his thoughts and not mine from it. So that's in the not too distant future, and also some other surprises which I just can't let out of the bag right now, but they're going to be significant.
Yeah, Nick is the man, and he is kind of conscious of his English. So I feel like I'm one of the best salesmen in the whole wide world, and I almost had him talking to me on the Skype, just me and him alone, and he's like, "I need more time, Lim. I'm not ready." I'm like, "All right, my man." Yeah, but Zenith, what I'm hearing from you is basically you are kind of seeing everyone who's doing this, but you're not sure if it's still possible. I tell you what, the best thing to do is just start taking action. You'll start seeing results. But don't expect fast results, because I think that is what most people are having issues with. They try to get, like, ranked today. And Billy, like back in the day, Bill's like, Lim, patience, wait. He kept saying it. I would bother Billy every day. I would bother him. He's like, Lim, it's only been 2 weeks since the last time you bothered me. So definitely, what these guys are bringing to you, take your time and do it right, because it does have a human touch to it, where it's one of those deals with SEO. SEO, it's never been really easy, but if you put the right content out there, same rules apply. It's going to work. With that being said, I have to go pick up my son. I've got to drive for another 4 hours. I love you guys. Bill, keep going. Tim, keep going.
Hey, Lim.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for stopping by, brother.
I love that. We'll see you next time, all right?
All right.
Thanks. Bye. Have a good weekend.
Bye, guys. Keep going.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, yeah, my questions are looking out into the future, because algorithms always change, and that was my concern. Yeah, it might be good for now, but...
Well, think about the premise on which it's built, Zenith. Believe me, there's nothing out there that I haven't tried multiple times. And this is the one that I've got total confidence in, that the way it's built, if you look at the structure of the diagrams, you are insulated. You're not exposed to some of these other things. Plus, Google loves the Web 2.0s. I mean, there's no two ways about it. They love these, and that authority that you're getting a little piece of, is going to make your site stronger. And as you continue to take your accounts and age them, and by aging I mean that you keep posting to them, and they're going to build their own authority. So it's one of those, again, natural progression of building authority. It's not like you came in and shot a bunch of PBN links to it, and that just doesn't look natural.
Right.
It just doesn't.
Has anybody tried, like, building up, like, your brands with, like, a Google Plus, Facebook, Yelp, and all of that, and then running links to the brands?
You can run links to anything you can get a URL for.
Yeah, like I like the Google Drive links. If you guys have ever tried Google Drive links, you can put an article in with like your video links in it and everything else, and then you can run Money Robot links right to the Google Drive links.
Okay.
Bill, that might be something you might want to maybe do a
I'll make a
little,
video.
do a video or something on that. Show people how
Yeah,
to do it.
that's a little bit more advanced, but it works really, really well. Because if you put, basically think about it like this, okay? You guys can see these white things behind me. If you pretend that was a Microsoft Word document, okay, and inside of it you put like your YouTube links, not the 22 variations, just like your main YouTube link, a small article around it, about it, etc., and a Wikipedia, etc. You make this public. Once you make this public, then you take that link that says Google Drive dot such and such, and you can literally put it in Google and it'll pull it up, and it's because it's public. Then you take that link once it's been indexed. You give it a couple of days once you make it public. Then you put it in your Money Robot one in the link wheel part of it, and just put in whatever your keyword is, and that's it. Just click boom. I just do use the super competition one on it, and that's it. You can use the other ones on it, but it works really well. It's basically just another tier to your videos, etc. So.
Right.
Yeah, I think that without reservation, I wouldn't hesitate anything. Listen, after what I've experienced personally, and I have nothing to gain by doing this. I don't get paid a penny from anybody for what I'm saying. I'm saying whether it's good or bad. I'm going to tell you. I think Bill and Lim both will tell you. I'm not filtered very much.
It's
So
good though.
I just, hey, I tell it like it is, and wherever they fall, they fall. But as cautious as I was, and it's about as cautious as you get when still try, I have absolutely no fear whatsoever. I started 150 new campaigns. I think it was might have been Friday, might have been last Friday, on a fairly large diagram, and I mean I have never slowed down. Mine don't stop. I can always build more accounts, but at this point in time, unless I'm bringing on you or like a client, and by the way, I'm certainly going to protect my sites, so I'm doing the same thing for the clients. I've got a home inspector here that he had a big mess on his site. He'd been through like 3 or 4 people that pretended to be SEO and all this kind of stuff, and they just was taking his money and stuff. Well, now he's dominant in the maps, and I'm talking about this is only his 3rd month. He's dominant in the maps. He's on every page, probably in the top. In addition to the maps, he's no lower than number 6 organically. So he's got 2 of his. He's got 2 links on the homepage. We've worked on. He's got great reviews on there, which is part of the process. And don't forget, if you're going to do a business, for God's sakes, don't forget the most important thing out there, and that's the Google My Business page and optimization. I don't give my clients a choice. If they want to use me, they're going to let me optimize their Google My Business page, or I'm not going to do it, because if they're going to hold me accountable, I'm going to make damn sure that that page is done rightly. And also, I charge for it. I don't do that free. I have a minimum charge, I don't care who you are, of $1,000 to set up and optimize your Google My Business page. Because it is the single most important property that you're going to have out there regarding relating to Google. So if it's not done right, and to do it right, there's some little intricacies that not a lot of people know how to do in there, and it's what makes the difference between you being able to put a client in a map and not. And now it's obviously 100% more valuable than it was 7-8 months ago now, whenever the big put down dropped from 7 to 3. So how much more valuable is that now, especially if you're fortunate enough to have a high-end client? I had a couple I doubled the price on my monthly service.
So like that contractor, how many campaigns at one time did you do?
Let's see. I think I created in total, I do know that number, just a little over 24,000 accounts, and I had, let's see.
But do you run one campaign at a time, or do you run several?
Well, I have 60 running at a time.
On one client?
No. Oh, yes, of course.
Really?
They're not on one VPS. They're on
Right, yeah, I know that, yeah, but wow.
So Tim, all the work that you did for this contractor is through Money Robot?
100%.
Wow.
Except
that was
for Google,
60
Google,
but that was
except for Google My Business Optimization.
Right.
Sure.
And
sure.
that was 60, 60, instances of campaigns running. Is that the best way to say it?
Yes.
Okay.
And now they were varied. I would run, I'm trying to remember how many I had on there. I think there were 6 or 7 categories, because how much can you do on Home Inspector? I had, Home Inspector, home inspections. I had mold inspection, radon testing. Radon inspection. There was one more, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, infrared imaging. So I had 7 categories, I believe it was, and they're fairly evenly split because I think I had one video on there, and I'm working on some videos for him now, and we're going to pop those on the first page. See, when I tell my clients, because I try to treat them the same way I did my own stuff, I want to get every piece of real estate I can get. That's going to drive my competitors down even farther, and that's my goal. I want to own as much real estate on page 1 as I possibly can.
So running that many campaigns, it still took about 2 to 3 months?
No. We saw, I would say, in month 2, we started to see him. He was on second page for most things, and he was getting on the bottom of first page. And now, again, this is only his 3rd month. He's all in the maps for every one of those terms. He's also has, I think he's got 2 spots in the map. He's not in the he's not in the mold removal or mold inspection. He's not in that in the maps, but for all of his home inspection terms, absolutely he is.
And you just have to remember that depending on how complex a keyword is, how competitive and everything, that's really how long it's going to take.
You were breaking up and echoing.
Yes.
Hey, Tim, do you run campaigns pointing to Google My Business and other citations, or just to the money site?
I haven't run them to citations yet. I am going to. Absolutely. I would not hesitate to do that. That's a really good idea. What I'm looking for, and I haven't found it yet, is a tool to extract the citations. Bill, you know of anything?
Extract the citations?
I can grab all the URLs. I know I can do it manually. I'm lazy.
Let me write it down. I'll look.
Coming soon, folks. Right here, you heard it first.
Or you can just order a citation audit, and they'll give you back a list of citations, right?
Yeah, you could do that too.
It's like $7.
That's a good point.
Who are you doing that with, BJ?
Loganics.
Okay.
I don't know that one.
If you're where you are, type it in the Facebook group or into here somewhere so we can see that.
Yeah, right. Brian said Whitespark should have that too. That's a good point.
I know from I use a private label, Vendasta, for all that stuff, and I know that mine. I think I'm showing 360 citations or something like that. Last time I checked. Now there's I'm trying to think of what it was I saw where someone had figured out a way to use the Google Drive to be able to create citations specifically. I think it was for maps, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the Google, same thing. In the Microsoft document, what you do, or not the Google Doc document, you put in the Google My Business links. You can put in Facebook links, etc., and then it'll index and send a link from Google Drive to there. and then you can run Money Robot at that document, and then it'll send a link to the Google Drive and to each one of the links that are in there. But if you do your maps listing, the Google My Business one, you can just run Money Robot links right at it.
So you run campaigns to Google My Business and to the maps.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
One of my favorite actually ones I'm doing right now is that SourceWave or Source Market. I'll tell you what the gig is. They embed. Hold on. I tested this with a client first, and it works really, really well. It's 100 Google Custom Maps embeds. It works really, really well. It's by this guy named First Profits. I'll paste the link in if you guys want it. But
Yep.
It's helped tremendously as well.
Bill, was there some conversation, because I heard part of that deal, was some conversation about they're not actually using the address in your Google My Business for that. They were using a different address, were they not?
For
these map embeds.
I honestly have no clue how it works.
Okay.
All I can tell you is that it works. So I have a client that we were struggling to get Google to change her address, and they would not change it. I changed it inside, I called, did everything, and then all the other citation companies would change it, but Google wouldn't change it whatsoever. So I did this gig, and then about 2 weeks later I called, and then I did it in the thing again, and it actually changed. And then now you can actually see the maps listing of her stuff everywhere. So.
Let's see here.
And I tried it on a couple clients now, and it works really, really well for Google My Business. So.
Do you have the name of that gig?
Yeah, I just put it in the Facebook group. I'll put it in here too for you guys.
Okay.
Hey, Bill, Nick just gave me the link for the purchase if they needed 2 of the new VPSs.
Oh, here, I'll put that.
I posted that in the group, so you might want to copy that on the side because somebody asked for that again sometime in the future.
Okay. All right. So let's go back to questions here. I think we got. Let's see. Mike Outwards was asking how many multiple campaigns can you run on the VPS? The same license. What's the optimum thread count? I think on mine right now I'm doing 10 to 15 threads at a time. You can do, it depends on the speed, but some of them I've done up to 24. It just depends. You just don't want to max out the CPU. I try to make it so it doesn't run hotter than 60%. I don't know if you do the same thing, Tim, but that's the way that I do it.
But threads and campaigns are different, though, right?
Yeah, the campaigns, as far as that, I usually do 1 to 3 at a time, but it depends on how many if you're trying to just like blow campaigns out, I usually do 1 and let it run, just because otherwise it's going to keep bouncing back and forth and waiting. But you could do a bunch. It's just going to take longer if the more campaigns that are in that sidebar at one time. So, but if you increase the threads, it'll do it faster. So.
So with the new VPS, can you run more campaigns at one time?
I haven't tried it yet, but if it's doing everything like, and Nick's always a first class, I would say yes. It's going to do really well then.
Okay.
Just looking for more questions in here. Can we embed YouTube code in blog pages posts and not the URL links? I've never actually tried that. Tim, have you tried that?
What was that, bud?
Michael Howard was asking, can you embed YouTube embed codes in blog pages and posts and not the URL?
You mean the ones being created by the robot?
I think so. He didn't really specify, but I'm sure that's probably what he's asking.
I don't know why you couldn't. Let's see here.
You probably can. I've never tried it before. Best strategy, all steps to backlink a new site, how to use instead of campaign using extreme social diagram.
Hey, where can I see Mike's exact question? I'll get it to Nick.
It's in the one from March 2nd.
Oh, you mean the Facebook group?
Yeah, hold on. I can just copy it to you.
That's all right. I'll look.
So, Bill, on the map embed, which one of the extras did you get, or did you do any extras?
I did. Hold on, I'll tell you.
Okay, thanks.
I did the same one over and over again.
You didn't do any of the extras on the bottom?
No, I don't believe so. I think it was just the primary. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, Bill, I see.
Yeah, no, just the primary.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I see one of Mike's questions here where he has 5 questions there. Is it one of those?
Yeah, it was number 4. I just copied it into our chat box.
Okay, all right, let's see here.
That would be interesting to try the double embed one.
Yeah, they're kind of interesting, the extras.
Yeah, but it works. It works very, very well. So I've been trying different gigs in here lately to see what else has been beneficial. And that's one that I really like. And then I tried this other one. It was a 600 video embed one on high DA domains. That one worked okay. It wasn't the greatest one.
Bill, can you see if we can get a clarification from Mike, be a little more precise about the question? Is he talking about blog pages or posts that have been created outside of the robot, or what?
No, I think what he's talking about is, you know, in the bottom, you can, when you put in the YouTube URL code, if you can put the embed code in there as well. He's not here. He said he had to go to a meeting. So
he wants to put the embed code in place of the URL?
I believe so, yes.
Well, as you know, when you use the advanced section and you put the regular YouTube URL in it converts it into an embed code.
Yeah, that's why I was a little confused. I think I don't think he. I don't know. Well, when he comes back, we'll have to ask him specifically, but I'm not sure what else. I don't know. Anyway, okay, so Valerie was asking about best strategy, all steps to backlink a new website. How do you use and set up a campaign using Extreme Social's diagram?
Extreme Socials?
Yeah.
Let's see. That name doesn't sound familiar to me.
It's one of the diagrams that comes in that
Yeah, that's that other one. Um,
It's like the last one.
I don't see that. I don't have that.
I have
I
it in
thought you,
mine. It's the
I thought
last
you,
choice on SEO, on the diagram choices.
didn't you give me that one?
Oh, it's spelled XTRE. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, did you
I
share that new diagram? Sorry.
I have not yet because I haven't really. I still need a name. So if somebody would like to give a name, so
Call it Video Alpha Share. Share it.
um, yeah. No, I will. I'll do that today.
Bill, I've got some information on that. That is like one what's it called? Oh, the Extreme. Do you guys have one to call this just 3D Power?
Yeah.
It was designed to be run in conjunction with that because if you look at the 3D Power, it really doesn't have any social with it.
Okay.
Oh.
So it was built. Now, there's no reason why you couldn't use that though for another purpose.
Okay.
There's no reason at all why you couldn't do that because you've got. Let me. My page is so small on that one. So there's no reason why you couldn't use that just to build some social signals back to your site. But it was initially built to be used in conjunction. In other words, if you run 10 3Ds, you come back and run 10 of these
Gotcha.
as well.
Okay.
So that's why it was put together.
That makes sense. I have not actually tried that one yet. So.
Well, what's this diagram you're working on? What's the idea behind it?
It's just a Blogger one. Most of it is Blogger, and then it's got around the social. So that's really all it is. It's not anything super crazy.
It won't cost us $500.
No, totally free. I think I have it right now called Power Blog. That was about it. So. But it does social signals, social bookmarks, and then it's a bunch of Blogger stuff. So.
So now when you add extra links under like Money Site, what it does is just it rotates like one after the other. Is that how that works if you have more than one in there? When you're putting in a Money Site, instead of putting one, let's say I put 10.
10 money sites?
Yeah, Well, not different sites. They're related to the same site, but 10 different links.
Yes, but do you understand that you're talking about? Would it be 10 different pages?
Yeah, like say, or like even if I was gonna do like branded 2.0s or something, could I put like all 10 of them, or like tier 1 links? Could I put 10 let's say tier 1 links, for example, as Money Site?
Well, you could, but keep in mind that you're diluting it by 10 when you run it that way.
Okay, so it'd be better to have like 10 campaigns possibly then.
Yes, because
if
you plan to come back and keep working those and building authority on them, then you want them to have their own separate campaigns or accounts in that category for them. Now, if they're all in the same category, then
same category.
Use common accounts within the one category, and hopefully by that point you would start to reuse the accounts you've created in the past. Again, don't consider, because you're wasting your time, don't consider running or reusing any accounts until you have a bare bones minimum of 400 accounts in that category.
I did something Brian had suggested, was starting some without links. I was trying that, and it really builds a lot of accounts. I was curious if you see an account, like, say like it says I have 5,000 accounts now, could half of those be dead? Or are they, if it says you have an account, does that mean it's active?
Well, the account, if it was created completely, it should be active. I've had no issues whatsoever with losing accounts.
Okay, but if you see it in the account count, in the, when you go to my accounts and you see like 5,000, that is really 5,000 live accounts.
It is.
Okay. So if it doesn't create, it doesn't get counted.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Okay.
And if you follow the best practice in terms of running the number of threads recommended, you're going to see your percentage of accounts created go up immensely. And here's a full disclosure: for the first 6 months I was doing this, I ran everything wide open in terms of the threads. I had them run; all of them were pegged at 50 the whole time. Because I had a huge server with OVH that I had. I think Nick told me I was nuts. I had 64 gigabytes of RAM, and all. I said, "Man, I'm gonna blow this damn thing up." And I ran them all. I'm not kidding. They were every single one of them were running at 50 threads. But I've seen a gigantic increase in successful accounts when I went away from that and started doing the lower number of threads. The number of accounts created at the same campaign have gone up exponential.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like Brian had posted in the Skype about starting it without links, and I did that on one that I'm doing, one category, and the amount of accounts is like double the one where a YouTube one that I'm running where I have one link. I need to change that to random, but it's like double the amount of accounts created, and it goes really fast. That's on the OVH one that I had bumped up to run Live Genius, but it's like half the time than the one where I have a link.
Well, you'll also see, if you haven't gotten to the level yet, Zenith, where you can begin reusing the accounts, you'll see a very similar thing happen when you start to be able to go back and to reuse what you've created. And I've got a good friend that I got into Money Robot, and he spends crazy money on stuff. When something comes out he likes, he buys 4 and 5 licenses of it. No kidding. And well, I'll tell you the rest of that later. But basically, his pet peeve, and he's got it calculated somehow or another that he only wants to spend X amount of dollars in capture cost. I told him he was friggin' nuts. I said, you're not seeing the damn forest for the trees here. You're talking about peanuts to do this. And by using, I don't know what you're using, but we have absolutely found that 2Capture gets a much better success rate than, because I had Death by Capture forever, and I had another one too. I can't remember what it was. But I've seen a significant improvement by using the 2Capture. I never pay attention to it. I'll throw a couple $100 in there and go look at it, maybe about a month or so. But they do a really good job. Plus, as y'all probably know, that MR actually solves a lot of the simple stuff yourself. Right. And they are so close to doing that new form. I don't know if y'all seen it or not. It's a different type of recapture where the images aren't the square ones. I can't remember what it was they did to them, but they had pretty much defeated the original one, which I think were square blocks on the images, and then all of a sudden they came out with another one, and they're working on that. So these kids are, I say kids, are 30 years old, but they're a cut above what most of us experience out there, and they're genuinely committed. They could be like everybody else. They just take your money and just go along, but they don't stop. Their average day right now, it is 20 till 12 p.m. for them, and they'll be there for another hour and a half. This is 7 days a week for them. So they work like we do. Well, like some of us do. I'm not going to say anything about Bill, but anyway. So they are dedicated, and this is the reason why they asked me to get involved, because they knew of the situation, but they want every robot user, whether you've got 1 license or 100, they want you to have that success. They're genuinely concerned about making sure that you're getting the best out of what they want to offer. And I can't tell you how many people I've found that bought it and didn't even know they were entitled to doing two. I'm talking about this group. I'm talking about in general. They didn't even know they could run 2 VPSs on it. They thought they had one. So they just doubled their production instantaneously by doing it like this. But Bill, I don't know what feedback you've got so far in here, but across the board, I'm hearing very positive things about people who had basically given up on it and left. And this is across a number of groups. They've come back now were reinvigorated because they know that if they have questions, they can get them answered. And they see that continual improvement and nonstop. I've been thrilled to death this thing was the same way it was the day I bought it. I was tickled to death with it. But you wouldn't recognize the robot now than it was this time 1 year ago. They made so many enhancements and improvements in there. It is phenomenal.
Oh, it is. It's totally better. I mean, and it constantly gets better. I mean, every time you run it, you can tell that it gets better.
Well, they're willing to open up, and to have more involvement out here. I think it bodes well, for the future. And they're working on some pretty incredible stuff that's going to come out. There's going to be several big markers out there that are not going to be too happy when it comes out.
Well, I can tell you for me, the video viewer, I have a medical client that I've been using it on, and they're in a really competitive space. And just using the viewer, and I've run 2 campaigns, he's gone from page 8 in the video section, okay? This is a national client. In 30 days, he's now on page 1 of the videos and moving forward.
And what are you using with that now?
I've done 2 super high competition campaigns. And actually, no, I have to look. I did 2 super high competition campaigns and 1 of the video high super campaigns.
Yeah.
And I'm using the video viewer campaign in Money Robot, and that's it.
Video viewer?
The video, like when you can get views.
Oh yeah, sure. Absolutely.
That's all I do. I just let that run. It's added since I started it. In 2 months, it's went from 4,600 views to 7,600 views. So, it's not a ton of views, but I'm telling you, the views are totally legitimate and it works.
Yeah, well, that's important, and there are people out there who don't know that exists or what those tabs are for.
So, okay, so there's a high competition and a super high competition.
Yeah, you want the super high competition one.
Okay.
Yep. And then see the one that says there's a high competition video ranking.
Video ranking, yeah, okay, yeah, That's the one
use that one
about.
too. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, because initially when I got started using this, all I did was pummel it with the super high competition all the time. That's all I did. Just kept using super high competition.
Okay.
So.
Well, Bill, when Nick gets this video ready for everyone on the extraction of the tier 1s and then the promotion or the pumping up, he calls it, we've got some diagrams that were specifically made for that purpose, and they shouldn't be used on other things, strictly on pumping up the tier 1s. And I'll share that with you, and in turn you can give it out to the group when
awesome.
This ready. And he says that he's going to do his best to get that video done tomorrow for us.
Okay, cool. That sounds good.
If we do get it posted, I'll be sure to let you know and post a link in the group there, and I'll add the that power up diagram for you so you can share it with everyone.
Okay, cool. That works for me.
I wonder if the Washeen on the Orlando SEO, if he's slacking on using the robot, because he's now in 4. He was in 1.
The what?
Orlando SEO, the keyword. There's a guy, Washeen, that was number 1.
Oh.
Yeah, what do you know about him? What do you know about him, Zena?
I just saw a post that he was that he did entirely Money Robot. At one point, he was beating Cotton Grammar for about a week or two, but now he's down to number 4. I'm just watching SERPs.
Okay, and you saw that post where in OMG?
No, I think it was in Skype. No, it was in Skype. No, in our posts. I think Nick posted it
Oh,
a long
okay.
time ago.
okay. I didn't realize many people knew about that.
Oh, okay. So,
Well, just so you know, he's gone to multiple other cities, except that we had to kind of, let me see how I can put this, counsel him on that it wasn't a good idea to go into certain areas when he knew full well that other Money Robot people were there. It wasn't good sportsmanship, and he could get himself in a lot of trouble if those people decide to band together and whack him.
yeah, well, yeah, okay, gotcha.
He took the advice and is working on some other things, but I know that he's in several other pretty good-sized cities in terms of being right up there number 1 or number 2, you know, for SEO in that particular city.
Okay.
I didn't realize that had been shared publicly.
Interesting.
And he has done it 100% with the robot.
All right. Yeah, I'm just, as you know, my concern, I'm paying attention to little tidbits.
Well,
No,
it certainly can't help you. It hurts you, that's for sure. How many more do we have? We got DJ. Who else still here with us? Mike left. Is Brian still here? Let me see if he's still here.
Well, does anybody have any more questions? I didn't really see any more. I think that was it. Let me look here again.
It's so simple.
I mean, the main thing you just got to understand is you just have to keep pummeling links until it ranks.
Right, right.
Hey, I have a question. Maybe it's for Tim. I think you said you had the contractor that you ranked on maps and everything, just using Money Robot, right, Tim?
Yes, sir.
Did you do that for multiple cities also?
No, he's in a local area that in his business area there's about 1.5 million, maybe a little bit more people.
Okay.
So I have a question. Say you have 6 keywords you want to rank. Would you start with, like, say, like running the anchor text for like 3 of them, and then, you know, and when those rank, or do you like rotate them if you're limited on licenses?
We probably do it a little bit different, but I do long tail first, and then short tail.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, like, because then you get more keywords long term. So, like, if you're going for a plumber, I would do who is the best plumber in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
That long?
Oh, yeah. And then you just start to trim it. I usually put, for, like, in the keywords box, for the one line, I usually do 3 to 4 keywords per time I do it, because you're going to get, you know, you have the other 90% that's getting created for you, the click here, etc. And so I'll do typically those long ones. The first one will be really long. Then the second one will be a blended version of it. So it might be best plumber in Pittsburgh. And the third one might be plumber in Pittsburgh, PA.
And you're talking about you'd have all 3 of those in one campaign?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I'll pummel campaigns. I'll just keep doing it.
Okay, with those same 3, you would run through the sequence of the 1 through 12 and super with the same 3.
Yeah, because the thing is like Tim said, I mean, every one of them, they're doing 90% other keywords. That's only 10% of your main keyword.
Right.
And that's why I do long tail first, because I found if I do the long tail first, you get a lot of keywords. Right.
Interesting.
So.
Cool. Okay.
Bill, I just posted something in the Facebook groups and here from Nick about the question about the YouTube embed code.
Okay.
And he put a quick little screencast together that shows the full process. So I put it in here and also posted in the group.
Okay. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, and then Valerie had asked. Oh, she just wanted the details of setting up the Google My Business page.
I'll have a check for $1,000, please.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, I'll tell you, the main thing is you just want to make sure everything's filled out, the most amount of keywords you can do. And also, don't be afraid to run links at it because it's not like a typical website. Google doesn't de-index their own stuff. So it's the same thing if you guys remember the Google Business page where you can do the thing that Sloan had showed before. I don't know if everybody remembers that. You can run links at those with Money Robot all the time as well.
And should.
Yes.
Do you run campaigns to Yelp pages?
To what?
Yelp pages?
Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, I'm doing a test right now because I had seen it in another group that somebody was doing it, so I started to just jam links at it, and you can rank Yelp pages a lot faster because they have so much authority already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, if they have any reviews, like anything already, they're gonna rank even faster. Now, if it's a fresh Yelp, it's gonna take a little bit longer, but if it's not fresh, oh yeah, yeah.
So you just point it to the business page, the Yelp business page.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Any of those really good authority sites like that, like Yelp, Angie's Pages, what's the other one? Foursquare, yeah, any of the ones like that, you can just pummel with links. So.
Hey, Bill, is Valerie? Is she can hear us?
I think so. Let me see back if she's still on.
All right. Well, here's most of it. Basically, whether you're setting up a new one or whether you're, I guess, rehabilitating one they've got. Use it, for example, in the About section, most people think you can put 2 or 3 lines in there. You can put a ton of stuff in there. It'll tell you when you got too much. You can almost put a full article in there. And you can also, most people don't know this, but let's say that you were, let me think what I can check here. Let's say maybe a plumber. You could put up in there after you get your, you want to make sure you use a URL in there, throw your phone number in there, and then you can say, and we list, and we can, we provide the following services. So you can keyword it and go in and put like a little bullet point in there, you know, for the different services that a plumber might offer. That's fully acceptable. They don't think you're spamming them, even though you're dropping a keyword in there, you know, the whole way through. That's one of the basic things that a lot of people don't take advantage of in there. The other thing is make sure that if you can actually get some images, if it's a real business and not a lead gen site, if you can get real images, for instance, like vehicles, if they have decals or signs or whatever they've got on them. And on a side note here, I had some really good luck one day. I dropped one of my kids off somewhere cutting through a parking lot, and guess what I found? I found a completely white van, what a plumber, HVAC, anybody would use, just sitting over by its lonesome. I also saw one of the big, I don't know what size truck it was, but it was something typical you would see that a plumber could have, a roofer could have, and this happened to be pristine white. I found the pickup, again, the same thing that any contractor could have used, and it's magical when you go to Photoshop.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God.
And keep in mind,
Okay, my errands are going to be totally different now.
you can take that logo and you can make that logo look like a sign that covers the whole side of that truck. And when you're naming these things, take advantage of optimizing your images, geotag your
God.
images. If anybody know about that, let me know and I'll give you a little help on geotagging your images. Very important. I don't like to use any more than 6. I have done a couple with 4 images, but I like to use 6. And another thing you can do is you can, I forget what you can use it like a mirror image of the same vehicles. It looks like it's a totally different scenario. So you don't always have the same angle, on the images. I can't tell you how many people have these beautiful white trucks with these images on them.
You didn't bring out your green screen, did you?
I don't know what you're talking about. But think about it. You want every little thing to optimize in there. Geotag everything. Go inside of your properties and do it. Make sure you clean out all the exit information in there. There's a great little tool. I think it's under $20. It's called Batch Purifier, and you go through there, and it'll run an entire folder, unlimited images in there in the blink of an eye. When they come out, they're as clean as a new baby's butt.
Wow.
I mean, all the bad stuff is gone, and then you have to go back in. Now, there is something coming out, I think, within the next couple of weeks that it's a standalone desktop program, and you can go in there and do all kinds of wonderful things in terms of all your metadata, your geotagging, all inside of the little app. The way I have to do it now is I have to do the geotagging manually. I don't have a tool to do that. And think about also compressing your images. Because obviously make your same thing on your website. You compress those images so they load faster. All that stuff. But apply these same principles to your website when you're putting in an image on a page. You geotag that sucker. Also take advantage of going into their properties on it and writing a title, your keywords, use your information. There's all kinds of fields in there that are good to you. And for God's sakes, don't forget to 5-star it while you're in there.
What do you mean 5-star?
Well, when you're looking at the properties on an image, under details.
Okay, yes. Yeah.
And go in there and make sure you 5-star it. Don't 3-star or 2-star yourself. So just the little things that make the difference in that stuff, but those little small things are what's going to set you apart from other people. But make sure that you do clean the image before you try to use it. I know a lot of people who've gotten those nasty little letters out of it, and it's so easy to do. And it'll clean any image you put in there, and I'm not kidding. It'll clean 300 images in 2 seconds automatically. And there's a setting inside that little program that if you check a box, it will replace the old images with the new images that are clean, so you don't have to worry about picking the wrong folder sometimes.
Bill, do you have any program like that for the Mac?
There is one. What's Valerie just posted? I'm not sure what that one is.
Looks like it might be stripping out the, I don't know how much of the metadata and extra information it's stripping out. Maybe, Valerie, you can post in there and we'll look for it in the Facebook group.
There was one I was using a while ago. It was called like cow something. It had the cow was the logo and stuff. I have to go back and find it, but I haven't been doing that in a while. So, because the Mac thing, it was too complicated because you would have to go on PC and then send it back to your Mac.
Use the PC.
But no, I use the Mac for everything. So.
Well, I think this little tool is coming out. It's not going to be expensive at all. I think it'll probably be somewhere in the neighborhood of about $25. This is coming out, and it's the real deal. It has a lot of features. What makes it so much easier is inside the program, he's built in, I guess it's an API or something, where you can go in and it'll put the, rather than having to go and copy and paste the longitude, latitude, it actually grabs it and puts it there for you automatically.
Oh.
Yeah. And just while we're on here, the same person, let me see how I can say this. I know that they have more than 100 SEO clients, and a fair number of those clients are actually OMG guys. They don't tell anybody, but he's doing their SEO for them.
Now that's an ONG.
Right?
That's too funny.
So this guy, he's just a great person. He's been working on this project. Well, there's one more thing. God doggone it. I just talked to him today. He also has, I'm sure most of you guys have probably seen and probably have this plugin, Project Supremacy.
Yeah, I have it.
Okay. Well, is your refund period already ended?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, shucks.
I think within the next week, today he was working on getting all the affiliate stuff put together, ready to launch. This project's been going on for more than 6 months.
Wow.
But he actually has a complete local schema plugin coming out. The thing about the Project Supremacy is you can't drill down on a page and tell Google what that page is about. If it doesn't fall into categories,
Right.
you don't. Well, here's what the guy's done. He's figured out a way that I got to give. He figured it out all himself. That he goes to Wikipedia, and you put in your category, and most all of them are going to have one in Wiki. You take that Wiki category. There's another geek place called Product Ontology. You take that Wiki URL, put it in Product Ontology, and it creates the real, really refined category that's fully accepted by Schema.
Wow.
Yeah, super awesome, and those guys will be really pissed when they see this come out.
That's awesome. You gotta send me the name. I want to check it out.
Yeah, well, again, he told me today that he was trying to finalize it. He was working on it today to try to do the very final things. So I'm going to say a week or less.
About what kind of price tag do you think he's going to put on it?
It's going to be cheap. I think he's thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of it's under $30.
Wow.
And
All right, Tim, let me subscribe to your email list, Tim.
Sorry?
Let me subscribe.
Yeah, right. How can we find out about this?
That's funny.
Well, I'll let Bill know. I'll post in the group, something
Okay.
along those lines. But this guy, he works at a level like Nick does out there. He will support this. I have zero question in my mind. If this guy's taking care of people at OMG, he's got his stuff together, right?
Yeah. That's just hilarious.
He's no slouch. So I've been begging him. I've had it beta testing it now for months and months and months, and I've been begging him. He keeps tweaking, adding something here, and doing this. I said, man, leave that damn thing alone. Let's get it out there, and then you come back and add a little additional stuff to it. But he's a perfectionist, which is fine with me. But I know how it works. You cannot believe how easy it is compared to this thing from Project Supremacy.
Wow.
And
that
well,
sounds
Project
good.
Supremacy doesn't really have your categories. It's just
That's
mainly for
exactly
the
the point. And I'm
for
gonna tell you guys
address.
I want to tell you guys right now that I contacted both Herc and Todd privately, and I went through the process. I said, guys, because I've already had the demo before they even brought out products to streaming. I had the other demo, so I knew what it could do. And I contacted them. I said, listen, you guys aren't going deep enough. You're only skimming the surface here, and I said it's better than nothing. I agree with you, but if you can't identify what the whole purpose and premise behind Schema is, to identify what that page is about, you can't do it. If you got if you're a HVAC contractor, yeah, you're good. But go and see how many categories they got for all the things you do with SEO.
You know what I like the Project Supremacy for is the projects and the keywords, to be able to organize it under the page. To me, that's the, that in itself, not to have spreadsheets and be able to see per page and all your keywords, that to me is the big deal. So I wish I didn't do that.
Please understand that this is not a diss on these guys.
No, I'm not dishing. I'm just pointing out.
Yeah. I'm talking about the fact that they are touting that they're going to replace Yoast.
Yeah, right.
My money's on Yoast, y'all.
Oh, wow. That's hilarious.
So I like their attitude, and I think they're doing a great job. And Todd Spears is a great programmer. He has some great tools out there. Let's see, Spider Spanker was a good product. But they're going to have to eat their Wheaties to catch up with Yoast, in my humble opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I encourage them to keep trying. But when everybody sees this tool and the same guy's going to bring out this thing for the images as well, he's going to make some noise.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And those are all things that doesn't include what Nick and his brother are working on, which a little piece of it is going to be involved in Money Robot, but some stuff that you can do that is not really. Robot could probably enhance what it's doing, but it's going to be amazing.
Awesome.
And of course, I'm going to tell you how people they support their stuff, so that goes without saying.
Mm-hmm.
So,
cool.
All right, Bill, we got anything else?
No, that's it.
2 years more
now,
old.
thanks for doing this. All my little questions and concerns have been answered.
Well, frankly, I wish we had more, because we want every single person to be comfortable using it, because you're going to be successful. All you have to do is use it. You hear all this crap about all these marketers about you got to take action. Well, in a lot of cases, that's really true. It's not good collecting dust anywhere. And all those people are happy as they can be that didn't know they had 2 licenses that they could use. So they've doubled their output now.
Yep, exactly.
But anybody that doesn't have an outstanding VPS, I would really encourage you to look at these. And Nick's, they are screamers. And the fact that he's there, sets them up, monitors them, manages them for you. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a techie, and somehow I stumbled through doing OVH, but it was a friggin' nightmare. With this, I said, "Hey Nick, I'm ready for another server."
Yeah, I like that. That's much better.
Can I ask a Live Genius question? How do y'all feel about using that for so many accounts without any proxy or anything? Or, I mean,
it's okay. I mean, you have to remember the main thing is they know that you're using it. I mean, but when you start getting into too many, I mean, eventually that may change, but it goes back to the rule. The main rule is if you're using a Google property, they really don't care. It's when you start to abuse the Google property.
But adding several live stream videos, wouldn't that be, that's not considered?
No, you can pretty much, I mean, I've added a pretty good amount of videos per day. If you stick to 5 to 10 a day and don't do any more than that, I've never really had a problem. It's when you start really cranking and you're adding 50 videos a day. So, because then they consider you to be a spammer.
But you're doing that to all different accounts and from the same.
It's fine. Well, you have to remember because there's a lot of, they added that feature that you can manage other channels now. So they know that there's a lot of people that manage multiple channels.
Right.
So,
But that's different when you have it under your own dashboard versus logging into different channels, wouldn't you think, or not?
it's true. That's true. I mean, but I'm not really sure. I mean, eventually we might have to do something with proxies and stuff, but I mean, for right now, it's fine.
So as long as you don't, you're running or uploading 5 to 10 videos per channel, it shouldn't be considered spamming, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you start to really go over that, we might have a problem. But I mean, as far as beyond, I mean, because I've done that for multiple days, do 5 to 10, never really had a problem. You know, I mean, there's days I've run 32 videos on a channel through live stream in one day. I don't really recommend that, and don't do it on your own channel. But I would never do it on my own channel. That would only be on a channel that I'm trying to rank. And that's when you building link wheels and stuff in between videos.
Yeah, but if you're using the same IP address, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the other way that you could do it is use ExpressVPN. That's what I do a lot. Is I'll bounce in between stuff because it's really easy. There's multiple different ones all over the country. So usually whatever area I'm trying to target in, I'll run a VPN in that area.
So the Live Genius works with a VPN because he was saying it doesn't work with proxies. Or...
I've tried. Well, you're on the VPN's on the computer itself, so it really can't tell. It just knows wherever that internet connection is. It's going to be a little slower, but
Right.
I've used it on my desktop now. So.
Oh, okay. Do you know if private internet access is as fast? Because I have that.
I don't know. I've never tried that one.
Okay.
So it doesn't work on VPS?
Live Genius does work on a VPS, yeah.
That's what I have it on a VPS because it's not available on the Mac.
That's right.
So, I mean, eventually when my software comes out, we have a software that it has YouTube Live, GoToWebinar, and Hangouts all incorporated into one. And you could do a two-way communication. It'll hold 1,000 people in a room, and then you can you can stream the videos through it as well. You just copy the video into it, and it'll stream. That should be out in the next 30 to 60 days. So.
Cool.
Cool.
That's one of my many projects you guys see on this big, gigantic board over here. So.
All right. Thanks, Tim. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
No problem.
Have a great weekend.
Well,
All right,
guys,
you too.
please, if you have any questions at all about this, feel free to post in the group. Hit me up. I'll be glad to help you any way I can. So again, really, we want you to enjoy this and reap the benefit of it. You invested your money. It's time to get some return on that investment. And
Yep.
I can't think of a better tool out there to do that with. So I would really encourage you to use it, run it, let it scream all the time. You're not going to hurt it at all. Don't let it, because once you got it, what does it cost you? A little bit of capture. So you got your investment there. So let it happen. Even if you're thinking about, maybe down the road somewhere that you get into a niche, go ahead and get yourself ready and get these things built up out there. But please make sure that you remember, do the minimum stuff. Do your 1 through 12 and your super high on any new category in your web page, in your video as your foundation. I run a ton of those, even though I've got diagrams that will blow your mind. The majority of what I run is the combination of those two. And they will get the job done. And if you think about it and you look at some of the bigger ones, it's just a string of what you have in the smaller diagrams. So there's some big diagrams. There's people trying to still sell a bunch of big diagrams for a lot of money out there. But those diagrams take a long time to run. And during that time, you could have already created thousands of actual accounts that are already feeding you backlinks, and that's what people miss.
Right.
Yep.
They get all bug-eyed because they see all these gigantic behemoths out there. Think, oh my God, that's the only thing I ever going to need. Well,
Right.
while you're doing that, I'll be lapping you.
Yeah, I don't get that 3D diagram myself. That 3D diagram is, I don't particularly get that. Is that effective?
I don't have any experience with it to share it with you, or I would, Zenith.
Okay. Yeah, it just looked like too much to me personally. But.
Well, again, is people see that kind of stuff and they get bug-eyed over it. I mean, and that one is nowhere near some I've seen. I've seen some that the screen looked black.
Wow.
There's so many different ones on there. But some of those, I'm not kidding, they will take more than a month to run. And that's ridiculous.
Right, because then you're not even getting your tier 1s done.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I'm really excited Nick is doing this video for you guys about I think most people don't have a clue on you can even extract those tier 1s and start to use them to really pump some juice to your properties. So that's a great thing that he's doing.
Oh, speaking of which, since you mentioned that, I did try a tier 1 thing where I used a backlink monitor to extract links. And a lot of them. That's why I was wondering what's active and what's not, because I was having a problem. Nick helped with my VPS, but a lot of them were like they weren't live links when I used that backlink monitor. Like say out of 50, I would get like 10 or 13 that were actually got the check mark as a good link, as a good URL.
Okay. Well, maybe next time we can look a little more into the back end, because you can see a lot of stuff in the back end about the account creations, how many were created, and all that kind of good stuff. And I can tell you, it has absolutely gone up with all the tweaks they keep making in there, and especially since now the recommendation is 10 to 12. I personally always run 11 on every one I do. For me, I got because I'm kind of that way. I want to get the maximum with the least amount of effort, and that's what I found that worked for me. I think there's a number of other people found the same thing. And I have no evidence as to why 11 is the magic number, other than the number of my accounts created is higher than on any other combination I've ever tried.
Oh, really? So do you use that backlink monitor for anything?
You mean in MR?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I use it on the tier 1 stuff.
Okay. So, and what's your percentage when you do that? Like, what's a good, when you, as far as actual, check marks that are good?
To be very candid with you, I've never looked at it because of the phenomenal volume that I do. I'm pleased, let's put it that way, with the results I'm getting. And I've seen that improve probably over the last 6 months. That's continued to improve all the time, because they're also going back and retweaking things with the account creation process as well. But for me, I've spent, in the last 3 years, I spent well over $100,000 on different tools I thought might make my life a little bit easier. And that doesn't include my Money Robot spend. That's just on other shiny objects, most of which have never seen the light of day. But on this one, I don't regret not one penny. I think that I'd pay whatever he asked me to pay. I don't want him to know that, but I'd pay whatever he asked me to pay on this, because I've got something tangible. I know I've got results. I've got clients. And by the way, I don't make phone calls to clients. They call me. Okay? So when you cover up the results, they can't avoid calling you. They have to call you.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do that in your own local market, wherever you are. You just got to concentrate on what you're doing, and keep your stuff tight, and just stay at it.
Okay, one quick question as I'm seeing how many $500 I have to come up with. Like per license, how many clients do you think you can handle?
Oh boy.
Sorry. What'd you say? I gotta go here. I got about 9 minutes.
I think you have to look at their competition to see, is it a tough niche?
Right. Okay. So let's say for medium, average client, average local, not real difficult one.
Well, I probably would certainly do myself. I'd run 2 VPSs on them.
So per client, it'd be one license. Then you're saying?
Yes, and the other thing about that is once you've got it, you always want to keep doing things, but you can do things that aren't as great later on in the beginning because first of all, you have the accounts created, you can reuse them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's another purpose in having this, and you're going to be able to know that you're doing certain things for this client, and hopefully, I don't know what kind of deal you do with your clients, whether you have a contract month to month or however you do it, but you want to get your investment back. You don't want. I don't work for free. So you want to get your investment back. I would do it in my original deal where I was made whole, and the only future expense I've got would be minimal cost with capture. So I'm going to factor that into a monthly service fee with them, and I want them to know that what I'm doing for them, they can't find anywhere else, that nobody can do it the way that I do it, and that I build for the long term. This is not something that's going to be a flash in the pan. When I get you there, you're going to stay there.
Right. Okay.
Awesome.
God, your confidence with this tool just blows me. Well, I'm sorry. If you could see my face, my mouth is open. But anyway.
Well, here's what I've got with this tool, proof.
Yeah, no, it's great. And by the way, everyone, I did do the OMG thing, so I know a lot of different ways, and and also complicated. I haven't really acted because of just the fear of, all the things that could happen to somebody, So, yeah. I got a lot of theory and not a lot of practice. So, anyway, so.
Cool.
But to be able to do this tool, it's just like, I'm just so excited. Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, it's awesome.
No one else has ever been able to emulate a person. That's the difference in what this program does.
Yes. Exactly. So, well, awesome, guys. Thanks for being on.
Thank you.
And, we'll catch up again here. So.
Well, let us know if we can help you guys. That's what we're here for.
Yep.
Thank you, Tim. Really.
All right, everybody have a great weekend.
Thanks, guys. See you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.